Hey there, I'm Matt with GoTo, and I'm going to guide you through building your new Archie desk. So let's get started. First things first, clear some space in the room where you're going to place your furniture so that you don't have to move it very far once you're done building it. Then, if you don't have a soft surface in that room, such as a carpet, place down some towels like I have here. Then go ahead and get everything out of the package. This particular desk is going to come in 3 different packages. One large box for the locker, another box for the work surface, and then a 3rd box for the legs. You're also going to get 3 hardware kits total. 2 will come with the locker, and then another hardware kit will come with the legs. With our space ready, let's talk about tools. So for this build, you're going to need a screwdriver, whether that's a handheld screwdriver or a powered screwdriver. Needs to be a number 2 Phillips. The powered screwdriver is going to help you quite a bit. And also, if you've got a longer extension, go ahead and grab that. That's going to help make sure that we get a nice straight shot on the holes in the back of the locker. You're going to need a 1/4 inch driver to level out the unit once we get it all put together. Level, and then potentially you might want a tape measure just to help guide you as we place things onto the work surface. With our tools all set, we're ready to get building. So we're going to flip over the locker first. And we're going to do that carefully by rotating it first onto its back, and then onto its top. Then we're going to go ahead and move the locker in place onto the work surface. Now, a couple things to note. You're going to want to put the corner with the hinge on the door to the outside corner of the work surface. And you're going to make sure that you put the door of the locker to the front of the work surface. The front's going to be opposite the side here that has the grommet. Your work surface we've got already placed here. Notice that it's top side down. You can tell the bottom just by the grooves and all the holes that are in it. Now that we've flipped the locker over, we're going to position it onto the work surface. At this point, if you want to use a second person, it definitely doesn't hurt. The locker can be a little bit heavy, sometimes awkward. So we're going to position that, again, with the corner, with the hinge to the outside of the work surface and the door to the front of the work surface. With the locker placed on the work surface, we're going to align it to the edges about a 1/2 inch off the side and the front. In doing so, if we open the door, you'll see that there's holes in the top of the locker that will align with the pre-drilled holes in the work surface. You may have to move it around a little bit, but line those holes up and then we're ready to fasten them. So a couple tips here. Want to make sure that you got your drill, if you're using one, to a lower setting so that we don't strip out the holes in the work surface. And also, you're going to want to make sure you're using the shorter screw. The shorter screws come with the locker. The screws that came with the legs are too long and could damage the top of the work surface if they're used. We're going to take the screws and mount them in. Next, install the levelers. These are going to help you level out the cabinet once you got the desk in place. Let's move on to installing the legs. The legs come assembled together to prevent damage. And to take them apart, we're just going to take the levelers out of each leg and then carefully separate the legs from each other and reinstall the levelers. Set this one aside. Then we're going to align the base plate of the leg to the 8 holes that are pre-drilled in the work surface. And at this point, again, make sure that your drill is set to a low enough setting so that we don't end up stripping out the work surface. And this time we're using the 1-inch screws to fasten legs. So we're going to start by just getting a couple of these in loose, just to keep the leg from twisting when we tighten. and then we can drive them all down completely. We're going to repeat that same process for the other leg. First, lining it up to the holes in the work surface. And then driving the rest of the screws in. That finishes up our assembly on the bottom side of the work surface, and we're ready to flip the desk over. Grab a friend and safely flip the desk. Move your desk to the desired location, and then we're going to level it using a level side to side and front to back, adjusting the levelers on the legs or in the locker as needed. The levelers on the legs you can adjust by hand. The levelers in the locker you can use a 1/4-inch hex driver to adjust as needed. With the desk all leveled out, now you can install the false floor. False floor is the panel that doesn't have any notches on the sides and just has one notch in each corner on the back side. You're going to take this floor, angle it in, rotate it down, and then let it drop into place. Now we're ready to install the shelf. Select the level that you want your shelf to sit at, and then take a shelf clip, insert the top of that shelf clip, which is the flat side, into the slot, rotate the clip down until it clips into place. Repeat that same thing at the same level for the other 3 clips. With the shelf clips installed, grab the shelf and identify the front of the shelf. The front of the shelf will have the notch closer towards the front edge, whereas in the back it's a little bit farther away. There's also a couple holes on the bottom side towards the back. Take the shelf, carefully place it in to the locker at an angle, set it on one set of shelf clips, and then pop it into place on the other side. Now your Archie desk is complete. Please like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, and leave us a review on the Archie product page at go2wfh.com.